Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to this game in the Black Prince, British Tier 7 heavy tank. This is an assault game here on the Siegfried line, and we're top tier, it's a Tier 7 game. Now historically, the Black Prince was an experimental tank, it never entered mass production, but it was kind of the final iteration of the Churchill chassis, the Churchill type tanks. The hull was widened to enable the slightly larger turret that could accommodate the 17-pounder. Which is not the gun you see here. So when I played this game I hadn't got the 17-pounder unlocked yet, so I am still playing with the 77mm from the Churchill 7. Now the 77mm on the Churchill 7 was an interesting gun. Its DPM, its accuracy, etc. meant that if you were top tier you did really well. You could still do alright if it was a Tier 7 game. If it was a Tier 8 game, however, you tended to struggle. Now we're in a Tier 7 machine. Tier 6 games aren't going to happen. Tier 7 games like this do happen, and this gun can still be used to very good effect. Tier 8 games also happen and can be a bit of a nuisance. You know, it was painful in the Churchill 7, it's going to be painful in the Black Prince, and you can get into Tier 9 games, which is just not fun. So one thing you did see me demonstrating just there is that the Black Prince gets better gun depression than its predecessors. Now this is not astronomical gun depression, but it at least gets a bit. Which is nice because the front of the turret of this machine is very bouncy indeed. In fact, the armour on this is pretty good overall. So, what are we doing after like a minute and a quarter has elapsed? This is quite a slow machine, like all the Churchills. So we are coming up to try and get into the town from this side of the map. I usually try and attack from the other side, but I spawned on this side, so why not? And we're just seeing what we can spot over there. Now, when you're using this gun, I mean it's accurate, it's got a good rate of fire, but you really do have to aim for weak spots. You've got 148 penetration, and you're fighting ISs, KV3s. Well, there's a shot that bounced or got eaten by the tracks or something. You know, so you've got to aim for weak spots. You've got to know the weak spots of the tanks that you're facing, even when top tier, realistically. And as a result, and especially in a game like this, where most of the enemy are you know, Tier 7 heavies. I mean, the Tiger we wouldn't necessarily have to aim too much, and the AMX might be okay, but the ISs, the IS-2, the KV-3, I mean, we're going to have to aim for weak spots on all of those. Possibly even the Jagdpanther. So this is not necessarily, I was going to say it's not necessarily a tank for beginners, but, ooh, stock Tiger. Well, he's got the short 88mm gun, but not something I'm massively worried about. Although he could put shots into my flank. Anyway, there we go, he does so. I was going to say this is not a tank for beginners, but if we're going to be, ouch. So, okay, just here I got shot in the side, so I'm pushing up so that the person who shot me in the side, whoever it was, doesn't get another shot on me. But frankly, a lot of tanks, before they're fully upgraded, can be painful. But you can see here this guy, ooh, bounce there. This guy has the short 88mm gun, he doesn't have the top gun, and so he's really having problems penetrating me. I mean, he has 132, I think it is, millimeters of penetration. I have 150 armour, but if he's close, he can hit my weak spots like he did there and put a shot into me. So, oof. Or was that someone else? Anyway, I've taken a few hits from some mysterious shooter back there that's taken off, you know, something of the order of 900 of my health, which is a shame because I was using that health. But the Black Prince for a Tier 7 heavy does get quite a good slab of HP, to be fair, which is quite nice. Not quite as much as the Tiger H that is, or Tiger 1, but the same as the Tiger P, which isn't too shabby. So this IS is pushing up, we're going to come and help him. And who's over there? Oh, it's another Tiger. There's one shot into him. Oh, we get tracked. Bounce on the IS, although our IS finishes him off. And I'm trying to aim for the lower plate of this Tiger because an angled Tiger can be a problem for this gun. Ugh, see? There we go. T29 finishes him off though. So we're winning 5-3, which is nice. There's a heavy tank on my right hand side who's proxy spotting me at the moment. And so I want to be very careful. Oh, good lord, it's an IS. Right. Now, he's using the 122mm gun, which has 175mm of penetration. Why is he using the 122mm? Yes, he is. So I'm trying to keep myself reasonably well angled. This thing has sort of 70 or 80 mil of side armour, which means that you can, well, maybe even more, I can't remember off the top of my head, you can afford to put in a good bit of angling to try and stop the enemy damaging you. The other way that helps is that there's a weak spot on this tank in that people can put shots straight through the front of your mudguards, and there is tank behind those tracks. But if you angle yourself, they can't do that as much. They have a choice between either your angled front or your angled side. You have to take their pick, which is quite nice. So angling on this tank really does benefit, and as I say, the front of the turret's pretty strong. So there's a dude up there in his Panzer Soufflé that I was trying to get a shot on unsuccessfully. There's our IS friend. Angle, bounce. He's tracked, and just lay into him. I'm going to reload a couple of times before he gets a chance to fire again. Trying to keep moving so that he can't aim at any weak spots. We shoot, we set him on fire, and he dies. There we go, burned him to death. And we're winning 8-6. So, after a judicious bit of angling, we've still got 549 health left. And oh good lord, here's the Jagdpanther now. We bounce a shot there. Put one into him, high damage roll, and ouch, that one hurt. It looks like he's using the long 88. So I can take 2 more shots from him on average. Trying to keep myself angled so that I bounce shots. Oh, that one hurt. I angled a bit too much and he put one through my side. Another shot into him, he missed. Another shot into him, he's on a 5th health. Trying to keep myself angled. Might have angled a bit too much there, not sure. That might be too much of an angle. There's another shot into him. He finishes me off though, which is a shame. In fact, actually, that may not have been the long 88. That looked like it was the L70 gun, the 75mm gun. If it was, I'm surprised he penetrated me, and I'm surprised he did so much damage with each shot. Either way. So we ended up going down, unfortunately, to the Jagdpanther. That's a shame, but you know, there we go. If we had had the 17-pounder gun, I'm not sure what the rate of fire is in comparison. I think the 17-pounder has a slightly slower rate of fire, but it has the higher penetration, so we would have bounced fewer shots there on that Jagdpanther. It might have enabled us to kill him, it might not, I don't know. So someone on the enemy team, one of their ISs, just said, it was in Spanish I think it was, basically good game, so I want to say thank you. And there's just this KV3 left, and our KV3 ends up nailing him. So, there we go. That game was good enough for 2,000 something or other, like 2,800 or something damage, and a first class mastery badge. And you can see that with the Black Prince, with a lot of the British tanks, a lot of the British tank guns don't do a lot of damage with each shot, but the rate of fire means that damage really does rack up, and you have a high enough rate of fire to track people, keep them tracked, have a good chance of setting them on fire because you can just put shot after shot into their engine block, or ammo rack if you know where to aim, and it can actually be pretty good fun to play. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.